Life throws you punches. Trauma, life, and burnout. I've lived through it all, and I've built something for the fighters that refuse to stay down. If you're ready to stop playing small and own your story, then this is where you belong. The Unstoppable Network is where the overcoming stories are getting very loud. From veterans to survivors to trailblazers, sharing their story of turning their pain into power. Welcome to the Unstoppable Network, where we turn your mess into a message. All right, welcome back. It feels like forever since I've seen you.
I know, we're busy people.
We are busy people. So if this is your first time joining us at the Unstoppable Network, I am the founder of this amazing show. I do all the behind the scenes stuff that no one ever talks about. And, usually we have a guest, but tonight I thought I'd start December off with just Dr. J and I. So Dr. J, like I said, this is your first time. She is the owner of Semper Modus. She's an amazing, kick-ass, badass lady, Air Force veteran, and all-around amazing lady. So, what do you want to say about Semper Modus tonight, ma'am?
This Semper Modus is it's a private practice I founded for therapeutic interventions in a variety of ways. And it's all created and established by individuals who serve. So anybody who is served in the military, and then we decide to serve those who serve the community and the country. So we just have an alternative way to treat our veterans and first responders and active duty members.
Wow.
Yeah.
And trust me, this lady is busy. Her and her team are amazing. And they are busy all the time. And hopefully we could change that a little bit. Like, I really would like to change that, only because, sometimes what you do is absolutely necessary. But I would like to give you guys a little bit of a break.
Well, I am going on break. I'm actually taking a vacation. So I'm super, super stoked. I am venturing out with another fellow veteran to Hawaii. So I will be gone for a little over a week. And I am absolutely thrilled. I've never been. It's on my bucket list. I'm super, super, super excited. So this will be an amazing vacation.
I can't wait to hear all about it. Take lots of pictures.
Oh, I will. I will.
And that's why your background's different tonight.
Yeah.
Different than what we normally see.
Yeah. This is a pretty cool picture. I don't remember where I took it, but it's on one of the beaches, probably here somewhere. I think it's Casparian Beach, kind of north of Venice, on the other side by St. Pete. So we went over there, actually. You and I went over there. So this is very close to that area.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny because I missed my peeps this year. I never made it out to Florida this year.
I know.
I kept saying, like, this year's been crazy.
Well, I know you're acting now. What is that about? Tell us more.
Oh my God. Okay, I played one small part in acting. Like, it was a ghost. It was a dead ghost and just said the word whisper. I done that. I went to the University of Toronto last week, got to speak on stage there, shared my signature talk, Survival to Renewed. So that was amazing. I did a second talk. And of course, life, I was the first talk was like perfect. Like, I felt great. And then I was starting to get nervous on the second one because I'm like, man, I don't want to fuck this up. And, and I always had to say something about our veterans. Had to. And there was a one small piece in there. And I was getting nervous in the the hostess was in the room with me as I'm getting mic'd up, and she goes, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I'm just like my insides are vibrating."
Mm-hmm.
And so I prayed and I said, "God, I guess use your words, not mine. So whatever's supposed to be said on the second talk, it's the second talk." And it was all about the art of the ask, like asking for what you want.
Yes.
And so when I asked for what I want, then I started, the show and started dealing and started being with our veteran community. And honest to God, it's like God took over,
Mhm.
and I talk more about our veterans and our first responder communities than anything. I don't even remember what I said. It's on video. As soon as I get the video back, everybody can watch it. But of course, I had to talk about our veterans and our
I
first
love that.
responders. And I remember one thing I said, and I got emotional when I said it. I said, it's great and all to get likes and shares on social media. I said, but the
Mhm.
best thing that's ever happened to me in these last 4 years is when a Marine told me he had my six, and I almost
Aw.
and I got very emotional in the talk. So I can't wait to see the talk. But I mean, it's truly one of the best experiences of my life, next to my wedding day. So that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's so awesome. I'm so glad you did that. I just know when, I do a lot of speaking and a lot of training, and I noticed that the more nervous I am, the better the speech goes. Yeah, I find that fascinating. So there are some times where I just get really jumbled up. And usually when I come on stage, I say it's been 3 days since my last confession and I'm not Catholic. So everybody laughs, but it helps me kind of break the ice and move forward with whatever. I never know what I'm going to talk about until I start talking about it.
Well, and the thing of it is, like, no one knows my story as good as I do. And
True.
so just because the talk didn't go exactly how I had it on paper doesn't
No one knows.
mean no one knows.
Right.
And I felt like fucking yeah when I got off the stage the first time. The second time I was just like, what the hell was that? That was nothing to
Yeah.
what I had on paper.
Hmm.
And then the event planner goes like, they don't care. They don't know, Dorothy. They don't know.
Right. And most
And
of the time, anybody who has heard your story before, when you tell it again and it's a little bit different, or you would go in depth in a different area of that speech, like they have no idea. And it's not boring to them because I do hear a lot of people speak and I've heard the same story over and over, and it gets pretty redundant. And, I have ADHD, so it's really hard for me to focus anyway. So, challenging with
yes.
that, like when they change up the speech, I'm like, oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was a fun experience. So yes, thanks. I forgot all about the acting. That was in the
I
summer.
didn't. I thought that was awesome. Still, we don't, when we come on here, we have a certain agenda. We speak, very directly about whatever our task is, whether it's speaking to another veteran or, we try and give everybody the same amount of time when we have a group of people, especially like Veterans Day, I think was the last one we did, where, everybody had a different area. We just try and platform as many people as we can,
Mhm.
and give them the space and time they need. So it's usually not just you and I. So this is pretty cool.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I just want to I what I find is pretty cool is say today's December 21st or December 1st.
Slow
Wow.
down. I didn't
I
go on my
know.
trip yet.
I
Not the
know, me
21st.
neither. The December 1st. And I thought, what better way to kick it off than
Mhm.
giving people tips to survive this holiday? Because
Yeah.
let's face it, I'm one of them that December is not the most wonderful time of the year. I've lost more people than I have still here on earth in my family, and it's not always easy.
Hmm.
Gone through a lot of health challenges this year, and I'm tired. And I personally have been struggling. I will put it out there. I personally have been struggling the last month prior to Christmas. So, but I've used my tips, and that's why I'm still feeling empowered, and that's why I'm here and deciding. Because if I'm feeling it already, there's got to be people out there that are too. So, Dr. J, what was your number one tip to surviving this holiday season?
Well, first off, I want to say that December is a month of reflection, right? So I worked with I don't know, 10 people today, I want to say, and most of them speaking on behalf of their days off and slowing down and or the traveling. A lot of it was they were feeling somber or um, a little saddened by like all the people they've lost, and they reflect on, and we focus on what we're thankful for, but sometimes that sadness creeps in, and a lot of us have lost our fellow veterans and active duty members to suicide. And there's a lot happens in the time we serve till now, especially those getting treatment. And I got permission from them, by the way. But one of them said he went on a diet, but he took off Thursday and Friday and then went back on the diet. So I found that pretty funny. I'm like, wait a minute. So you were on a diet and then you were not on a diet Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, you resumed your diet. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, that makes sense. But I think eat wisely, be very mindful that just because you have access to everything doesn't mean you need to consume everything. Your stomach is about the size of your fist. And we need to be mindful that more meals are better than one big meal. And I think, I just turned 50 in March. So for me, I realized in order to boost my metabolism, I also went through a hyperbaric study, right? And they asked me, I did my final eval last Wednesday, and they asked me, they said, do you think you got the goods or not? Basically the oxygen, right? And I'm like, I got the oxygen. They're like, how do you know? Because it's a study. And I said, I was starving to death when I got out. And they're like, oh, right. So it was a big factor for me because every time it's been so long since I've been hungry just because I'm a muncher. Like I eat 4 to 5 times a day, little bits here and there. And I try and keep my steps up with that in order to lose the weight I need. Right. And it doesn't always work out. But I think eating wisely, taking, instead of having a whole pumpkin pie piece, you can have half one and then maybe 2 hours later have the other half. I think people forget that they have the opportunity to consume that food a little bit later as well. So that's a big thing, is to eat wisely, to understand that your stomach takes your tummy. See me? Your tummy takes a long time to process the food, right? So you want to cut things in half, break things up, eat more often, less food, right? Because we get these big old plates. We don't necessarily need them, right? I went to a Friendsgiving over the weekend and I noticed that the big dinner plates they had out, no one saw them first. They only saw the dessert plates. So they were all picking up the dessert plates, trying to put all their food on the little tiny plate, right? And, that's a pretty good idea. Go back, get more. Plus, you get steps in, right? So you want to make sure you're not skipping any meals. You're eating more often, less food. And then big thing I think is they say go out, touch grass. We spend a lot of time on the internet. We spend a ton of time on TVs, on our phones, all of that. Go outside, touch grass, get some light on your face. Vitamin D actually reduces depression. It's proven over again. Get some sun, go outside, breathe in the fresh air, get yourself out of the box, right? And a big thing is there are a lot of activities in November and December, and I can only speak for me, but I am very blessed and honored that I get asked to a lot of things. And I have to be mindful that I need to make sure to take time for me, because I can't do 4, 5, 6 events a week. I just stick a fork in me, I'm done. I can't. Right. So I'm very mindful of what I pick and choose. And I say no. I set boundaries. I let people know I can do this, but not that, and I think they forget that I'm not a 9 to 5er. I'm an 8 to 7er, Monday through Friday for the most part, because I do serve a lot of people. And taking one of those Saturdays or Sundays where I need to reset my system from all the work that I do, because my work is not easy, right?
Right.
And then the other day is I'll go to an event on a Friday night, or I'll go to an event on Saturday or Sunday, but I cannot do both. And I love my people and I want to spend time with them. However, I have to set boundaries.
Mhm.
So I think those are the big three as far as like the mental health checklist, so to speak. Um, I think the big thing is don't limit yourself. If you want a piece of candy, eat a piece of candy. If you want a candy cane, eat a candy cane. Candy canes take forever to eat. Forever. Like you
You're
could eat
supposed to
one
suck
all
on
day.
them.
I know, and they take forever. I mean, think about it. How many hours does it take you to eat a candy cane? A very long time. It's kind of like a Tootsie Roll, like
I,
forever.
I don't remember the last time I ate a candy cane, to tell you the truth.
But like the
Uh,
desserts and the access to what we have as far as sugary stuff,
mhm.
just like I said, be mindful. A little piece here, a little bite there. You don't need a whole section of a cake, right? So you're having, I don't know, give me some good Christmas cookies, right? You don't have to eat a whole cookie. Eat a half cookie now, half cookie later.
Right. Well, unless they're grandma's cookies, then you might want one now and one later.
But even so, you can, what I'm saying is you can
I
cut it in
know.
half, right?
I'm just teasing you. Yes, I love your tips, Dr. J. And if anybody has any questions, please put in the comments your questions for us. I love what Dr. J said. Be mindful of what you're putting in your mouth. Use the fresh air. Now, if you're in Canada, like I am, and there's actually snow on the ground today, I still go outside for my walk. I did. I went outside for my walk. I put my winter coat on, sucked it up, went for a walk, excuse me, and got the fresh air, even though it wasn't like 80 degrees like it is in Florida.
72. But I
But,
think
oh,
even, I remember, yeah, I'm from Michigan, right? So not very far from where you live. And I remember, having a full moon and the
mhm,
snow on the ground and going out at night and just watching the snow glitter. I
mhm.
found that to be absolutely amazing. And I would stand there for 10, 15, 20 minutes and I'd feel better.
Yeah.
And I do remember doing that. I mean, it's been a minute since I've got a winter storm, but being in Florida, it doesn't happen. But I think another big tip is I think as a society, we've lost patience with other people. We're not mindful of anybody
Yes,
else's
say.
experience. Look, when people cut me off in traffic on I-4, because I-4 is a beast in and of itself. It's kind of like, I don't know what highway runs through Detroit, but I'm sure you've driven it and you're like, oh,
75.
yeah, 75, right? Well, 75 runs down here too, but it's on the other side. I'm more on the I-4 side. And, when somebody pulls me out in traffic, I try to be mindful before I rage out. It's a challenge in and of itself because I'm like, you're money, but then I go, they might be on their way to the hospital, right? They're having a kid, something, whatever story I can tell myself to make me not flip them off. Like, that's a good thing.
That's
Because I've
right.
seen people chase people, and I'm like, you're that angry where you're going to spend $20 in gas chasing this person down? Is that a good plan? Like, it's expensive to live down here. I'm not wasting $20 on you. Not to mention my vehicle and my blood pressure and everything else. So just learning to be patient with you, your loved ones, taking the time to kind of understand somebody else's experience.
Mhm.
That's a big thing.
That is huge. Well, when you actually come here, I will take you down our EC4 Expressway, which makes me curse on the daily basis. And it's from one end of town to the other.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I don't have a Mustang like you do, and I got rid of my
I don't
Jeep.
either. I got rid of my Mustang.
You
I got an
did?
SUV.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. You need to come down. You haven't been here in a minute. Things changed,
I
Dorothy.
know. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there goes that dream, but it doesn't matter. No, one of my all-time favorite okay, so my bucket list car was a Mustang. And when
Mhm.
I went to Florida, Dr. J picked me up at the airport in her Mustang
Yep.
convertible with the
I did.
top down, and we had fun.
Yes.
We had
We
fun.
went all the way to Casparian Beach on the tip of the Gulf of America now.
Yeah.
So that was super fun. Yeah.
Gulf of America. All right. So I'm gonna have to say I love your tips and I totally, totally, totally love them. Another tip I have is, and I've used it quite often. It's like calling I have this thing where I call a friend
Hmm.
because I have made some amazing, amazing, amazing friendships over the years, which is ironic because growing up I didn't have too many friends. And as the kid that got bullied, no one wanted to talk to that kid. So God very much blessed me with a lot of women in my life that I consider sisters, and I reach out when I'm at my limit and can't take any more. I do reach out, and I'm not going to say it's a bitch session because when I vent, I I just want people to listen, but then I need somebody to who's going to also say, okay, what about this perspective? Like, give me another perspective. Don't let me sit in my shit. I'm not there to I'm not there to bash who's ever pissed me off. I just want a sounding board, somebody that's not going to judge me, who's going to listen to me, but also give me constructive feedback and get me out of that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I live by the 3 H's. So because of what I do for a living, right? Because I'm a counselor and a therapist and all that happiness, when I have friends that call me, I ask them basically, and you know this, do you want me to hear you, help you, or hug you? Like, what do you need in this moment? And I think sometimes men could benefit from saying this to their
Mhm.
wives, to their sisters, to their moms, whatever the case may be, because one, they feel heard, right? And two, like it can shift their mindset so that they can be in a space where I just need you to hear me.
Mhm.
All right. You know,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it gives them that perspective where they can like receive the information and not try and intervene or fix it or
Mhm.
piss her off even more, because the last thing you want to do is upset your wife, right? So I think that's a big thing, but there's a couple more tips I have if you're interested.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm just going to do my two. We'll bounce back and forth.
Okay.
Is as a therapist versus as a mentor and coach. That's what we'll do.
That sounds good.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Um, my other tip was, taking a walk. Uh, I love the fact that you said, small doses of food, where I used to be an emotional eater. So when I get pissed off, my first thing was to go get something to eat, and now I go for a walk. Um, and yes, even in the freaking cold, I do it. And I also journal out my feelings. Like if I'm so over the top, the only way for me to calm down is to phone a friend. But once I'm past that over the
Yeah.
top, then I'm okay to journal, or I'll get out my phone and I'll do like a Dear Diary video
Yeah.
to my
Like a voice
StreamYard.
note. Hmm.
Right. No one sees the light of day. It will never see the light of day.
Yeah.
Um, but it just helps me process. That's one, just something that I do.
Well, you
Or
get it out
I
your
would do.
brain.
Well, that's it. Yeah. I
Mhm.
don't want it stuck in here. And the quicker I can shift, the quicker life is better.
Yeah.
So, all right, back to you, Dr. J.
Okay. So, that is one of the things it says, holiday mindfulness is actually what we call it.
Mm.
It's, deep breathing, um, meditation, short walk, getting yourself journaling, right? Get it out of your brain, put it on paper, put it in your phone. And that way it's outside your mind. So you don't have to continue to ruminate on it, because like nobody wants a hamster and a hamster wheel in their brain, right? Most thoughts just fly by and then some get stuck. So it's a really good way to work through it. I think the other one is being, creating like a spending plan for Christmas, because sometimes we see sales, we go balls to the walls, and then, we have to put everything on credit cards, and then you spend January, February, March trying to build it back up or get it back to where it needs to be. So having your kids Christmas list in early deciding like these are the tops. This is all we have to spend on each kid or whatever. And that way you can strategically set yourself up for success in that way. When you're struggling and you're feeling the blues, you ask for help. You talk to somebody, like you said. When you're in your feelings, it's like get it out, whatever way that looks like walking, journaling, or talking to somebody else, whatever that means, whatever that takes, whatever that looks like for you. A lot of people have a different outlets, different ways to navigate like how they manage their holiday season. Because it is stressful. It is a lot. Kids have 2 weeks off, and you don't want to. The thing about the kids is don't change their routine. Just because they have 2 weeks off doesn't mean they get to do whatever they want for the 2 weeks, right? I'm not telling anybody how to parent, but like help them cope with it as well. Set those realistic expectations, make sure that they understand like this season is stressful. And just because you get 2 weeks off doesn't mean I do, like we have to work and kind of, I think when you have a divorced couple and you're sharing kids and you got to go to their house and his mom's house and his new girl, I mean, that's a lot for kids too, not just you, bouncing around all those family homes. It reminds me of that movie Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was only 4. A lot of people have a lot more than that, not to mention they're traveling, right? They just had to drive. So it wasn't really that big of a deal, but it was pretty stressful. But I think also like a really good idea if your kids are older is have the older sibling wrap the younger siblings' presents, not the ones from Santa, of course, but the other ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anything from them, have them wrap their own present to their sibling. It gives them a sense of pride, and it's a pretty cool idea. And, I mean, they can have a sense of ownership, even though they don't have the money to pay for the gift. They got to wrap the gift,
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, I think natural light instead of artificial light is really important. Like I said, step outside, even in the cold, take 5 minutes, just go step outside, breathe the fresh air, get a little light on your skin, even though, the clouds are gray, it doesn't matter. It still seeps through, gives you a change of scenery. We spend a lot of time indoors on screens, and we really need to reset ourselves. I know how much you love gratitude journals. So that's a really good way to break up the blues and the loneliness of the holidays. Music. Music is an amazing tool to alleviate a lot of depression symptoms. Everything is associated. It's one of my trauma protocols has a lot, I ask about music. I ask what's playing in the background simply because there is always a song that will make you smile no matter how much you're struggling. And I deal with people that are struggling every single day. So for me, I'm like, what are we listening to today? And they're like, oh, fuck, doc. Oh, I forgot to listen to my song, and it's like, okay, well, what song is that? Tell me why that's important to you. That is enough to get them in that frame of mind, because we do have to keep marching, keep moving on.
Although I will say so my dad died in September, and that first December, I was driving home from work, and I Want to Wish You a Merry Christmas came on, the like Elise Lally La one.
Oh yeah, Feliz Navidad.
Yeah. Honest to God, that came on, and I started bawling in my car, and I'm like, what the hell? Because I got this visual of my dad dancing. Like my dad was like one of these type.
I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yeah. So songs can bring back memories, but I think it's good to allow if you're crying, don't make yourself wrong for it. You're releasing emotions. Just let it go. It's okay. Grief is not linear, and it can take as long as it freaking takes. And I know people that have lost their dad 20 years ago, and still, a memory will come up, and they miss them, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. That's my next thing is coping with
sorry.
grief during the holidays. So that's spot on, Dorothy.
There you go.
Love it.
It's right into your tip. So what's your tip?
First thing is to acknowledge the loss. You know, you avoiding it doesn't make any sense. You don't want to shove it down. We've been shoving stuff down forever. Like it doesn't help us in any way, shape, or form. I have
Yeah.
Vietnam vets on my caseload, and they're like, "Yeah, shoving it down, throwing some dirt on it did not work." I'm like, "Oh, amazing, right?" So spend time with your loved one's memory. Light a candle for them. Acknowledge them. Talk about them. Keep their spirit alive. You know, even though they may have died in unfortunate circumstances, my best friend took her own life, right? So, you know, there is a song that we used to compete to sing at the rec center and tech school when we were both active duty. And it is a song I absolutely play on Christmas every year, you know, just to remember her because she was an amazing human being who was overwhelmed and made a very bad decision in my mind. But, you know, at the time she wanted the pain to stop and that is what she did. And I kind of spent the rest of my life hoping that I could intervene with some skills that I didn't have way back then. So she's the reason I do what we do. But the people that I serve right now are the reason I keep doing it.
Right.
I think there are a lot of people who struggle with post traumatic stress symptoms. And I think when they've had enough, they need to have the freedom to step away, take a break, go outside. Um, I don't think we give enough grace in that space. When it's too busy, it's too chaotic, it's too clustered, it's too warm. All
Mhm.
of those things may trigger an event. So, I think loved ones need to be mindful. If you know your spouses or dad or whoever is struggling with post traumatic stress symptoms, offer them, "Hey dad, we can walk outside. Hey honey, let's take a walk." You know, when you see that they're struggling because they're not going to ask. We're too proud. We're too proud. We fought for our country. We signed a blank check. Like we are not going to tell you. But
Mhm.
if you notice, it's huge for you to give us that space to let us know that we have permission to step away. And that's a big thing. When you feel like you've had enough, walk away. It's okay. You know, I go to Friendsgiving all the time and we're just a room full of veterans and sometimes it's too much and somebody gets up and walks off and we act like nothing ever happened because we're not going to draw attention to it. And I think we're too hard on ourselves and we don't give ourselves enough compassion or grace and recognize like there's no right way to grieve. And I mean, she died in 2015 no, not 2015, sorry, 1995, right? So 30 years ago. And um it still affects me, right? I still feel it. It still sits like a brick on my chest. And even though it was 30 years ago, it's irrelevant because my brain doesn't understand time.
Mhm.
And it just knows that I pulled her out and I'm still right back there every time I think about it. But at the same time, I remember the good times too. So I try very hard to focus on those. And there's no white ray. There's no need to hide. Like if you're feeling a feeling, let it go because it's good for your body to get it out.
Mhm.
You know, with grief, that we call it DABDA, right? Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. And sometimes those get jumbled up. You know, sometimes the anger will come before the denial, right? And we're just in that moment of the grieving process. And sometimes this can take 50 years. And some people never grieve fully, they never go through the acceptance phase. And then other people, they go through it fairly quickly. So it really depends. But I think the big thing is to recognize and accept that they're gone and kind of remember them
Mhm.
and the good, you
Right.
know, the good in their life and in what they meant to you is always good. And talk about them, right? I'm talking about Ashley and, you know, she don't know, right? But at the same time, like she left such an indelible mark in my life and she's created this space where I've been blessed and honored enough to continue to serve those who struggle. And I think people need to understand and be compassionate and give people the space they need instead of going, oh, honey, what's wrong? It's like, let's walk away. Let's just take a break. Especially with the busy season of holidays and stuff. We're super hyper vigilant and going to malls and things like that. That's very challenging for us. So if we prefer to stay in the car when we drive you to the mall and we're like, nah, I'm going to sit this one out and watch a couple videos or listen to a couple songs or whatever. Let us. We need it. Right.
I just, it's funny. It's a memory just came when you said we grieve in different ways. And it could be my dad and I process grief the same way, where we get everything done that needs to happen and then we fall apart afterwards.
Yeah.
So
how most people grieve.
My dad lost his brother to suicide Christmas Day. Unfortunately, we didn't find the body till March. And we know it was Christmas Day. And so he just, and of course, March was his birthday. So, and then my mom was, so then he had feelings about that. My mom's like, okay, can we just say that it was Christmas Day instead? So anyways, she was just trying to be a great partner and whatever. So it wasn't until 2 or 3 years after after my uncle passed away that we were at that was my dad's brother. We were at my mom's house and in the backyard doing something. And all of a sudden, my dad just lost his mind. Like, it was a complete meltdown. And my mom's like, what's wrong? Like, what do you need? And it came out that that's when he was trauma processing. Like, that's when it hit him. It was like 3 years later in the middle of the summer.
Right.
And
something triggered him to be able, and honestly, what the cool part of that is he felt safe enough to do it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we never feel safe enough to do it.
Yeah. I remember it. Like, I don't remember a lot, but I remember that day.
Well, the best thing is to not intervene and let them do what they're going to do. They're not going to hurt themselves. Right. And all you're doing is kind of delaying the inevitable of them processing. So, if they're out there chopping wood and they're beating the hell out of the stump, let them. It's okay.
Absolutely.
As long as they're being safe. I don't want to advertise like pick up an axe. Right. Wow. Hong Kong.
Very I hope he was not in one of those fires that happened recently in Hong Kong. There was a huge apartment fire, but we won't get into that because it's graphic. Anyhow,
none of that.
No. My aunt lives in Hong Kong too, and I had one of my brother's friends message me and say, "Hey, was that your aunt?" And then my aunt gave me the lowdown, and I'm like, "Okay, I couldn't sleep that night, but that's okay."
Wow. Well, anyhow, I hope everybody's okay. Good God.
Yes, I hope so too. Okay, so yes, getting back to holiday season survival guide. I just want to say too, I love the fact that you mentioned, and I never thought, so there's two things that are going through my mind simultaneously. For me, I'm an extrovert, but I'm borderline introvert. And so there's sometimes I need moments to myself, like just to decompress. I love being around people, but there are times like I just want to be left the hell alone.
Yeah.
And so when you said, because I'm the type of person, if I see somebody in pain or see that somebody is spiraling, I will reach out. But you're saying not to do that.
I'm saying in the moment when you're physically present with the person, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Might get an elbow to the face. I'm just saying, like, it's good to let them kind of process physically whatever they're doing in that moment. I'm not, if they're not with you, if they're like, I'm out, I got to go home, absolutely check on them. So I think that's the distinction is, you spoke specifically about your dad and how he was like physically throwing things and raging, right? and your
Mhm.
mom was trying to intervene physically in that moment, it's probably not the best time. Let him process through and go, "You good?" Because that's kind of all we want to hear in that moment.
Or here you go. Here's something else to throw.
Right.
I
Yeah.
need a rage room here in Windsor, Ontario.
I'm a huge fan of destruction rooms.
I really, apparently we had one, and I don't know, and apparently it's gone. But I really think that having a rage room, and then afterwards, so this is my thought: a rage room, and then taking those pieces of china, and then making something absolutely freaking beautiful with it afterwards,
Yeah.
because you're using like plates and, you know, all those things that people try and sell in the summer and then they don't sell, and there's boxes of this shit in your basement.
Yes.
Donate them to me. I'm going to start a rage room, and then we'll do some kind of pottery where like we piece things back together, but they're so beautifully.
In different ways. Yeah.
So I want to do that on top of, you know, if people need coaching or assistance or something like that, like throwing in that. So it would be like everything. And then
Mhm.
nature walks and shit like that. And so bringing everything that I've learned in the last 10 years together into one area, I think would be cool.
That would be cool.
You know?
Absolutely.
Charles, here. Some seasons feel heavier than others. It's often a reminder of the burden in our lives. If you notice a friend or colleague seems quieter than usual, it may be because they're carrying a weight that the holiday lights just don't reach. Reach out one on one with low pressure invitation sometimes. I'm here if you'd like to talk. Matters more than any party invitation, but invite them anyways. Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if he's an author, but he should be. I'm just saying.
Charles, I forget what Charles does. What do you do, Charles?
Wow.
Uh,
Very eloquent. He's
yes.
correct. Like, hey, you're on my mind today, thinking of you. Really simple stuff, just enough it takes a quarter of a second to do, but it changes that person's lifetime.
Mhm. We just want to be heard. We either want
Letting
to be
me know
heard
you're on my mind. Yeah.
or left alone. That's what we want. Okay, that's what I want. Hear me and then
Yeah.
leave me.
I'm very chatty, but at the same time, I'm very much an introvert and it takes a long time to fill my gas tank back up. So for me, like disconnecting is very therapeutic. Sometimes I go and I talk to a horse until he falls asleep. I mean, he gives me the side eye first, like, "You're back again." Okay. And I bend his ears. I will talk to him about everything and anything because there's no HIPAA violation, right? He doesn't speak English. I'm good. Right. So I go out there and I talk to Mr. Red for hours at a time until he passes out and then I feel better.
Well, and if anybody watched our veteran episode, veteran slash Remembrance Day, a couple weeks ago, Eric Anderson was on, and he owns a ranch, and
He's got a
that is
podcast now on Podbean called Grooming Spirits.
ooh,
Oh, I know he's so fancy.
ooh, that is
It's
amazing.
really good. It's a really good episode.
And so, and Michael was on too, and he is Devil Dog Canine.
Mhm.
Both two Marines owning things to do with animals. Imagine
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And for some people, animals can be absolutely therapeutic. I am not one of those people, but for a lot of people, no, I don't want to clean up piss, shit, anything like that. Leave me alone. I don't find it soothing. I find it annoying. But that's just me. But other people, animals
They
are
do.
like
They
calm
love
down.
to shovel shit. It is beyond my understanding. But people, manual labor, like that's a thing. They really love doing it. And I'm like, you're nuts. But cool, bro. Like whatever you need in this moment.
I think watching fish tanks that, but then you still got to clean up the shit. Like if somebody else, I would have a fish tank and somebody would come and clean my fish tank, but I'm not going to do it. So that's why I don't have it.
Hey, you can buy one of those little vacuum hoses things, and it's not a big deal. You just get
Oh,
the gunk out of the bottom.
so I have to share the story. We had a fish when we lived in the apartment. We bought. Brady wanted an animal so bad, and we at that time 1 bedroom apartment. No, we had the 2 bedroom at that time, so he had his own room, And he says, Dorothy, I want an animal so bad. And I'm like, why, buddy? Like, why do you want an animal? Because I am dead set against having one. And he's like, I just want somebody to love. So I looked at my husband
Aww.
and somebody who will love me back with, unconditionally. And I think I don't know, he was very young back then. And I looked at my husband, I said, go buy the kid a goldfish or some kind of fish tomorrow. Like, I would just okay
Like
with
a
a
little
fish.
beta or whatever they're called, them little
He-
fish that don't need any bubbles.
yeah, we got one of those and the poor thing died. And I felt so bad. I forget the name of the fish now, but I felt so bad. But he was devastated when that damn thing died. And we haven't had anything since. He's got a dog at his mom's. And that's
Oh, well,
good.
there you go. That seems
Yeah.
to offset the lonely. And they do. They love you unconditionally. They're pretty amazing. And like I said, I don't have to get up at 5 a.m. and shovel horse shit or anything, but I definitely have the opportunity to go out there anytime I want, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's got
Well, and
lots
you
and
got
lots of
cats.
acres. I do. They're sleeping on a heating pad because they're spoiled little shits. But yes, they're.
You do have an animal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have 2 cats. But I also, I'm looking at a service dog and that's a very big responsibility for me. Because if you're sitting here from 8 to 7, it's very challenging to take them out and walk them and take them potty and do this and do that, like that's a lot. So
Right.
something I got to look at.
So I also think doing what fills your cup and giving you joy. And so
Mhm.
each of that is different for each of us. And
Yes.
sometimes I want to start painting. I bought like the paint by number kit, and so
Cool.
I want to try it, but then it is so damn small, and my eyes are like, what?
Wow.
So, anyways,
That's
I
why
don't
you
know.
need a bigger one. Like, get a little kid one first.
Yeah. Well, I already bought it, and then I opened it up, and I'm like, what the hell is
That's
this?
what you just mail it to Molly and be like, can you finish this?
I should.
She's the artist.
Like, I
And
haven't
she
even
loves
started
it.
it yet. I should
Yeah.
just send it to Molly. That's what I
Yeah.
should do.
Yeah.
Molly, if you're
Absolutely.
listening, I'm going to send it to you. But yeah, so just find something and maybe try something new, something that you've never tried before. Who knows? Get outside, go see the Christmas lights if that's what brings you joy.
Yeah, I live by a lake, and in the middle of the lake, there's this little island thing where they put one Christmas tree. Now this island is huge. It's like Hollingsworth, right? This thing is a monster, right? And this little tiny Christmas tree is out in the middle. It's so funny to me. But everybody's got like Christmas lights up, and it's interesting to me from being from Michigan and 30, 8 feet of snow and 30 inches overnight and all of that, and then come down here and palm trees and 77 degrees. It's like, wait, what? But
well,
it's chilly.
you need to go walk over to that lake and take a picture of that tree for me and send it
I
to
will.
me. Because I
Okay.
walked over there when I was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
you did. So it's just very interesting.
I would love to see that. That was hilarious because someone had shared with me last year that there was a trailer for sale in Lakeland and it was for a damn good price, and I so badly wanted to go for it. I so badly wanted to
Your
go
home.
for it.
I love it.
But I didn't tell Joe, and then it ended up being gone. So,
Well, they caught like 200 human traffickers, so there might be space available.
Oh my God.
They're in jail. They can't pay their mortgage. So, there might be something for sale. I'm just saying.
You might be. We'll have to take a look. But
yeah, our lovely sheriff advertised that. He was very, very happy.
That's something to be good, proud of, though. Like all those people off the street. So that's good.
Yeah, only 20 million to go, but hey, we're getting there, right? 200's a good start.
Stay away from the alcohol too this holiday season. It doesn't help
And the
matters.
pop-up ads.
Yes, yes.
I actually met a guy in the government that all he does, his whole job is to disconnect the ad blockers from everybody's computers. Like that's literally his job.
Really?
Yeah.
Would that? Wow.
Yep.
Also,
Because the
I won't.
pixelated images always pop up and you could be looking up, car parts and it'll pop up. So that is his job. They
Wow.
can't just exit out. They have to report it and get somebody to get it off there. Because it's government, right?
Right.
And they don't want anything happening where they will go to jail for clicking on something. So, yeah,
Right.
that's literally his job. I thought that was
Interesting.
pretty cool.
That is very cool.
I'm like, get that stuff off there. Good on you.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Well, if anybody has any questions, hurry up. Well, we're on here for maybe another 5 minutes. But if you have any questions, let us know. Anything we can do for you, let us know. Just know that if you're spiraling, get a hold of 988. Phone a friend. Get a hold of an amazing therapist like Dr. J and her team at Sempermodus. But don't do it alone. Don't
No.
absolutely do it
And
alone.
you're not alone.
No.
You're loved, you're needed, you're wanted, you're worth it, right? So, like,
Yes.
you have value, you are important, and we want you to stay here no matter what you're struggling with. It's never a reason to disconnect from this world. It's not okay. I will be mad at you. That's what I tell everybody. I'm going to be mad at you. I know how that feels being the one that was left. Like, that's not cool. Don't do that. Right. So,
Yeah.
if you're struggling and you feel like you can't see a way through, that's what we're here to do. So, sempermodus.com, sempermodusllc@gmail.com. We are here to serve.
Yes.
And it could be, military and their family. Everybody's connected to somebody in the military somewhere. Right.
Mhm.
So, I think we're pretty all inclusive.
Yeah. Civilians too. You do work for civilians.
Yeah. I don't really call them civilians because most of them are teachers, and good God, that's like not a civilian. I feel for them a lot. They have a very difficult job.
And 988 is both Canadian and US. Why?
Good.
They finally did something right.
Yay.
And okay, so I'm just going to put it out there because it is in the national news, but one of the Dallas Cowboys took his life recently. And it was amazing to watch that team rally around each other. They wore shirts that with the suicide hotline on there, and I just feel so bad for his family. And he left behind his girlfriend's pregnant. So
CTE is a beast, and I don't think people recognize that at all.
Yeah.
It's just PTSD and traumatic brain injuries to the point where it changes their entire behavior. So pay attention to your loved ones this season. If they're acting erratic or being different, call it out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid they're going to be mad at you. You might have just saved their life.
Absolutely.
I don't love the Cowboys. However, they're not my team. I do love that they rallied and they're bringing awareness to a very, very big issue. Because them brain injuries are not anything to play with.
Well, I think part of it, he lost his mom very suddenly, and he wasn't dealing with it effectively from what I glimpsed on what was shared on the news.
There's not a roadmap to hey, your mother is no longer alive. And,
Right.
they had probably a good relationship. And,
Yeah.
there's nobody who's telling them, hey, this is how you handle this passing.
Right. And I think as somebody who's gone down the road and had somebody, like I said, leave this world by their own hands, I think it's like a snowball effect. One thing
It is.
leads to another. Yeah. Okay. So they're they're grieving the loss of their mother, and then they get hit in the head, and then the traumatic brain injury. Like, and I'm assuming this, I have no idea. Like, I didn't look into his medical background.
Right.
I'm just piecing things together. But we just don't wake up one day, have a thought that life sucks and we're going to end our life. I think it's a series of
No.
events that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, this
Um,
absolutely is a plan of, disconnecting from this world, but the cost is really high. I mean, you have at least 20 people, right? And then 20 more people that are affected by those 20 people that feel your loss. And it ends up being around 200 people affected by every suicide. Not cool.
no, not cool at all. So, like I said, reach out to 988. I'm trying to think. I thought I had some for Modus written on here. So, what is
It's
that again?
LLC@gmail.com. Just email me. It goes right to me. I'll answer. I may not if I'm in Hawaii, but I'll get to you. I'll have one of my providers reach out, most definitely.
There we go. I'll make sure it's in the show notes when I put the show notes up.
Yay. Thank you.
Yay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Dr. J. I mean, I can't believe we've already been almost an hour here.
Oh, you and I can talk for hours. So
Oh,
this
we
doesn't
can.
surprise me at all.
We can, and I didn't ask before, but we usually an hour is the sweet spot with
Yes.
us. That way
Totally.
people are not completely bored out of their heads. And not that we're boring, because we're
Yeah.
not.
But we're no
Uh,
Sean Ryan either. So let's not do that. Or what, Joe Rogan, right? They
uh,
have 2, 3, 4 hours. Good Lord. That's a
uh,
lot. That's a
we've
lot of
done that
attention.
before, but we've
That's
gotten
true.
into shit. But anyhow, we're not going to go there. Bring that up. I just want to give a quick thank you to our sponsor tonight, Cast Magic, for all of our people here that are podcasters or coaches. This is the tool that you need that will get your 50 hours down to like 10. So go check it out. There's a referral link there. Go check it out. We
What
thank
does it
you.
do?
What does it do? It takes, so you can upload this episode
Mm-hmm.
into there, and then it gives me, it breaks me down into clips. It breaks me down into, like, gives me titles for different shows. Like, say I wanted to use the show and break it off and things like that, and gives me different titles. It gives me, um, like, say I want a post for LinkedIn or Facebook and stuff like that. It also, if we have a guest, it will put a letter, it will generate a letter to the guest and say, here you
Aw.
go. So it does
Very
a lot
cool.
of different things. And then for the coaching side of things, like, say I did like a group coaching call and I recorded it, I can upload it, and then it will create a whole course content out of
Wow.
what we did.
So
Uh,
what's the benefit of using this link as opposed to something else?
well, it is a referral link. I do get like a little bit of a kickback from this link.
Awesome. Use the
Uh,
link.
use the link.
Yeah.
It
That's
is my
great.
link. I do get a little bit of a referral fee.
I love it.
It helps with some of the amounts of money that comes out of my pocket to get this show going.
Absolutely.
Um,
Maybe a little
and
bit helps, especially in the holidays. So
that
love
is
it.
true. So use that link, and we thank you. And have a great Christmas, uh, or whatever you celebrate. Because not everybody celebrates Christmas, but they celebrate something. And so we just we just want you to know that we're here for you. We see you. Like Dr. J said, you matter.
Yes.
And reach out if you are lonely and you think that it's getting tough. Like I said, and use some of the tips that we gave you tonight, whether that's out for a walk, doing meditation, journaling, uh, phoning a friend, just listening to music, like Dr. J said, uh, walking the beach if you're in Florida, walking the cold, shitty snow
Yeah.
out here in Canada, whatever you got to do to get your mind right. Um, phone a friend, make a video, watch something that is inspirational, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and go listen to all those amazing stories that are there, that
Yeah.
of men and women that have pulled their ass out of the fire more than once and are here to tell about it. Because I'm telling
Yep.
you, there is some amazing, incredible stories on there. And unless you go check it out, you'll never know about it.
Yeah,
So
our 9/11 firefighter, I pulled his out of the archives today and sent it to a fellow client. But I think the weight of the burden that you're carrying is much easier with two people.
yeah,
So always, ask. You don't need to ask for help, but ask for connection.
yes, 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 yes. And if you are a veteran or a first responder or anybody really, because we have
Anybody.
allies too. We have allies. Fridays at noon is the Angels 14 call. It's all about camaraderie connection. I've missed the last 2 weeks. Sorry, but I will. No, I won't be there this week either.
It's
But
okay. We'll resume in the new year. It's all good.
that's right. But there's also there. You don't need me because there's some amazing guys on there and women too that are on that call that will pull you out of whatever dumpster fire you're going through. We're all there for each other, and so if you're interested in more information on that, private message me. I cannot give that link on over the air because we do a little bit of anyways. I just to keep the sanity of that group
Plus, we
and
want to make
protection
sure
of them.
nobody's a bot. So it's in our best
Right,
interest to connect with the person before they
right.
go on a site like that because it is confidential. It is, a way to connect with those who served, those who put on a uniform to serve a purpose higher than yourself alone. And when you're feeling you're feeling lonely, you're feeling like there is nobody, this is a great way to connect with other people who served, and it makes you feel like you belong somewhere. So if you feel like in your day-to-day life you don't belong, this is a good place to go.
They are the best of the best.
They
Like
are.
I can be in the worst mood ever, and this is the best hour of my life. Every
Yes.
week, excuse me, it is the best hour because we shoot the shit. It is like my brothers and my sisters, and you can say and be whatever the hell you want to be and say and not be judged for it. And it's just
A
uh,
very safe space for an
yes,
unsafe home or place or
yes,
whatever. A lot of people are struggling with work right now. They don't know what's going to happen, and they're just having a really hard time adapting to different, unrealistic expectations in their job, whatever the case may be. Like, this is a
yes.
place to help you disconnect. You get an hour on Friday to create a space where you're welcomed and loved and appreciated, and
That's
they
right.
see you, which is
That's right.
wonderful.
That's right. So if you want that link, email me at Graham, Graham, Dorothy, Dorothy, 408 at gmail.com. And we will get that. I'll get you the link.
Yeah.
I'll get you set up. But wow.
Fabulous, darling. Fabulous.
Fabulous.
So,
Fabulous.
everybody, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We love you and we hope you're safe. If you need anything, holler, and take care of you and each other this holiday season.
Absolutely.
I'm going to Hawaii.
Don't rub it in or anything. All right.
Hey, this is, 50 years coming, lady. I've never been, so I'm thrilled. I
I
saved
can't
up
wait.
all my quarters. I'm going.
After Christmas, we'll come back and you can tell me about Hawaii and I'll
Oh, I
tell you
will.
about Mexico, and we'll
Sounds good.
swap stories and we'll go from there. So
Sounds amazing.
we will have Chad Kennedy on next Monday. So look out for that. I mean, this guy is a freaking powerhouse.
Awesome. Y'all
Yes,
have
so
fun.
oh, we will. Trust me. It's always fun with Chad
I'll
Kennedy.
be eating,
Uh,
watching an active volcano. That's what I'll be
there.
doing next Monday.
Woohoo! All right, guys. With that, be safe, be kind, and remember, go check out our YouTube channel, The Unstoppable Network. Subscribe, share with all your friends, and I would love to hear which is your favorite episode. Uh, And if you have a story of overcoming, whether you're a veteran or survivor or a trailblazer, we want to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Bye from now.
Bye.